Hello.
Hello, Jonathan. Hello.
Sorry, I just literally got off another. I had my webinar, so I was just getting off my own webinar. I was like, I gotta go.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, you too, my dear. How you things going?
Everything is great. It's finally sunny weather.
I know, right? Good grief. I love it.
How are
Um,
you?
good. Are we going live now? Do I have 2 minutes or do I have 1 minute? Or are we going
Yeah,
live?
you have a couple of minutes. We'll
Okay.
wait for a couple of minutes more, so you're good.
I need a buy break real quick.
Okay,
I'll be right
sure.
back.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Nicole. Hello, David. I guess it's just Yen's note taker, but anyways, Yen, hello too. Alexander, it's nice to see you guys. We will wait for a couple more minutes for everybody who wants to join, and we will start. In the meantime, write in the chat where you joining from, where you based, how's weather at your place today. I'm in Virginia. It feels like fall. Well, it is fall, and today is finally sunny weather, so I cannot be more happy. Hello, Alexander. Austin, Texas. I guess it's weather is around. Okay, that's good. That's good. It's not cold. The summer. Hello from Armenia. Hello, David. How's fall going in Armenia? Perfect. Great. Nice to hear that. All right, we'll wait for a couple of minutes. We actually have around 200 people registered for event, but normally how it goes, some people can join for a live version, and some people just receive the recorded version, and everybody will receive the recorded version. So yeah. Oh yeah, Jonathan, I was just explaining how it normally goes. So we invite as many people as we can, and this time we have around 200 people interested in events, but not everybody joins for the live session. Most of the people normally receive the recorded version, but live session is a great time for everybody who wants to ask questions or communicate about some kind of topical issues. It's a great place to do that.
Mm,
And I'm so happy to have you, Jonathan, here today with us. Jonathan
thank
is
you.
an amazing person. He has 15 years, more than 15 years of experience in GTM in sales. He knows the drill. He's out there every day, and he's in a couple of businesses related to GTM. He runs also
Yes.
a couple of projects. So, Jonathan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first I want to say thank you, Anastasia. You're just nothing but a pleasure and kind to talk to me and just appreciate you so much. I just want to tell you thank you. Again, my name is Jonathan Kvarfordt. Some people call me Coach. A long story short, I was in a startup 5, 6 years ago, and it's one of those classic stories where there's like 20 of us in a room smashed in before I started to really grow. And literally, of the 20 of us, 10 of us were named John. And so all of us Johns got nicknames, and mine was Coach because I was the sales coach of the team at the time. And it just stuck. And everywhere I've been since then, someone's known me as Coach and just kind of stuck as Coach. And I just kind of went with it. So, because there's not very many coaches, which is nice. So, I'm currently the head of growth at Momentum. It's a AI data revenue orchestration platform. I own the GTM AI Academy. I launched it 3 years ago in December, which is crazy. It's been that long. There I teach people how to use AI individually and go to market teams from marketing to sales to BDR, CS, like all the whole motion. I teach AI at Bryant University. I'm an advisor for 10 plus different companies, both for go-to-market and AI. And I'm a dad of twins. So I like AI and I like my kids. How about
Yeah,
that?
I guess the last job takes most of your energy and skills. It requires
That's for
most of
sure.
it.
It's for sure. And it's something I'm more than happy to give. It definitely takes as much as I can give, so which is good.
Of
So
course, of course. It's funny that you mentioned about names because when I was in school, we had five Anastasias and we went by numbers. So Anastasia number one,
really?
Anastasia number two.
You had
And
that many? That's crazy. You had that many.
yes, and every time somebody left our class, it was like, okay, now you're not Anastasia 5, you're Anastasia 4. So it's an upgrade.
Oh, you got upgraded. That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
all right. So today we're gonna have an interesting kind of, I hope it's interesting kind of format. I have a couple of thoughts. I have a couple of hypotheses too here, and I would really appreciate hearing your feedback on all of those because some of them are something that I see on the market, something is that I receive from my colleagues and GTM leaders from the market, but maybe you have a whole different story, whole different experience, and that is very, very interesting for me to hear. So we're here today to talk about cold outreach, specifically in go-to-market strategies and about go-to-market strategies overall, because it feels like market changed a lot this year even comparing to the previous year. So many people are frustrated, many people are challenged, and that's great to share some experiences with them. So yeah, me and Jonathan today with you guys, I will share what we have. So
Love
yeah,
it.
Jonathan, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, keep going.
How do you feel about cold outreach in 2025 overall?
Oh man, it's I'm finding two worlds are erupting, one of which oh, yeah, which is act um I'd say mental back to like what core why people are tapping into how do we use AI to amplify genuine communication versus just spam Kevin like crazy, you know? So it's kind of like these two
Mhm.
paths I see people go down, which is fascinating to see how they handle both. Yep.
That's true. That's true. Yesterday or today I received a message in LinkedIn and somebody wrote me, "Hey Matt," uh, and I was like, "No, that's not the way how you use AI." Because
That's funny.
definitely I'm not Matt. But yeah, it's I
Right.
totally agree.
That's awesome. I love it. What do you think? I want to hear you because you're in the space. Like, what do you think see or sees going on?
I think that market doesn't maybe adjust as fast as it changes. Because what I see is that changes that happen today, people still act with strategies they had from yesterday. And that goes for every, and for cold outreach in particular, every acquisition channel. So with cold outreach, I think that the major shift that I saw this year is that now you have to do your best not to sound robotic, and that's a challenge because nowadays everybody is using different kind of AI to automate
Right.
to automate their processes. So it's hard to make sure that your AI doesn't sound like AI because on the other end you also have AI checks for that.
Right. 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 Yeah, I get it.
So
That's
that's the
crazy.
main challenge, yeah. But
Nice.
overall, yeah, it's an interesting challenge. It's I think everybody predicts it to be dead every year. Still there,
I
still
know. So
working.
funny.
So all right, here we have five deadly sins in go-to-market that I saw, and I would like you to grade them. So let's say which of those you think is the biggest sin this year for go-to-market strategy.
Ask that one more time.
So
It cut
here,
out. Sorry, it cut
yeah.
halfway cut out. I'm so sorry. I missed half of it. One more time.
Yeah, so here we have five deadly sins in go-to-market that I observed on the market.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if you have the same observations, maybe you have different sins, but looking at those, how do you rate them? Which of them is the biggest sin? Which of them is not so major?
Are you showing on the screen? All I see is the title slide.
Oh, it's weird.
Yeah, yeah. Nicole was asking the same question. I'm like, I don't see the five sins. There it is. Yeah,
Oh,
there they are. Cool,
yeah,
cool,
here
cool.
we go.
Thank you, thank you. Um, okay, so you said how would I rate each? Is that what you said? The deadly
Yes,
sins?
yes, yes. For instance, for me,
Oh man.
outdated ICP is one of the major sins in go-to-market strategy overall. It always starts with the ICP for me and from my
Yeah,
experience.
I would agree. That's number one. I would put it like I'd add a flavor to it. It's not just ICP. It's like understanding there's two sides of it. It's like for me in marketing, I'm always trying to figure out what is the value of the um what does the brand give to the market space to the ICP beyond them just buying a product? Like, am I creating some value for my ICP beyond that, which requires understanding the ICP beyond just company size and title? It's like understanding the ICP enough to know of literally the very nuanced, detailed concerns or problems they have in their marketplace that
Right.
you wouldn't know about unless you're inside of it. It's like there's this old classic story from one of the Salesforce salespeople who had the biggest deal in history up until the time, where they sold to an insurance company, but in order to sell to them, they went and got their insurance license just so they could make this model for Salesforce to sell to this insurance company. Like that's like dedication. It's that kind of ICP that we've lost because we figured out like, hey, they got this industry. Here's the size. I'm going to blast them a message and that's it. It now requires more and more nuance of understanding really what is going on in the ICP and bringing value to them, not just blasting
Mm-hmm.
them. You know, so I would
Exactly.
totally agree that's number one. So
Exactly.
yeah,
What I see also with ICPs is sometimes I talk to some of our clients and they're like, all right, we have those triggers. For instance, if company downsized, then we interpret this as a well, they are losing revenue and basically they are stagnating as a company. But this year, I wouldn't say that's black and white anymore because this year, if company is downsizing but still growing in revenue, that means that company is simply optimizing and maybe they're
right,
just getting rid of some roles, maybe making their structure more lean. But it's not black and white anymore in terms of
right.
ICP. All right. What about, and that's your profile. So what about AI automations? People who don't use AI or teams who doesn't use AI for their processes.
Yeah, that's a
That's,
good question. As far as like, yeah, I don't know if I'd rate that second. I'd probably put second as the single channel approach is probably second. Just because I think too many times people limit themselves to one channel and people now are like engaging all over the place. So it's you got to have a friend of mine. So we just released a pre-order for a book, and one of the contributors to a book we released is a guy named John Henry. And one concept he talks about is this concept of surround sound, like surround
yeah.
sound marketing, to where
Hmm.
like you know your ICP so well and you surround them with everything they're
Hmm.
talking about from advertising to their thought leadership to their podcast to the whatever, like you're everywhere, so like anywhere they go like you're around, and not from a point of being annoying but from a point of again delivering value, and they can't ignore you, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think that's number two. Then I'd put in probably number three is the mindset of inbound, you know,
Yeah.
or at least I would say more dismissing outbound is the bigger play. um that'd be that, and then the tools for me are kind of results of the other three together. Even though I'm an AI geek, like I never start with AI as the main solution. Like AI is
Yeah.
like a mechanism to get to the results. Um, so for me, it's just like, yeah, I could talk about AI all day, obviously, but I would put those three first, and then the other two, the toolkit and AI automation, would be number four and five. So
That's interesting about AI optimizations and automations. It's interesting to hear your thoughts. What is the hardest thing about AI automation? So, what is the team struggle the most with while automating their process with AI and specifically sales processes?
it's a good question. I think um, people struggle with one of two things. One, they think that AI is an easy button and they can just buy a
Yeah.
technology and all of a sudden they're going to have 20 bajillion meetings and that's going to solve all their problems. And the challenge is you need to understand ICP, the process, what are you giving, what's the product, like there's all this stuff you have to do. And people, they have failures with AI, and the problem is not the AI, the problem is the core structure of the team that AI can't do anything with, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's that's what I have my concern about. The other part would be like, let's just say they did have that education for an AI. The next part of it is making sure that it fits inside of their overall strategy and tech stack. So you don't have an AI tech that's running in silo. It needs to be
Yeah.
connected to the rest of the tech stack and to the rest of the process so that you're not creating all those data points that can't be then informing later in the funnel to help with whatever conversation you might be having later, you know?
Hmm.
So that'd be the two things. And those are very difficult. I shouldn't say difficult. They're challenging to do. They're not fun, they're not sexy, but they are the most important things to make AI really, really function well.
That's true. That's true. And especially with prompting and everything, I see a lot of
Yeah.
people still writing those basic prompts like write me or whatever, create something for me, but
Yeah.
it simply doesn't work anymore this way. Well, it gives
Right.
some result, but it's not result to be proud of.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Let me know if the new slide pops in.
Wait for it. I see five
You
deadly
did?
sins.
Oh no, okay. Why Zoom is getting yesterday I had a chat with somebody and this person told me that every single meeting that they had for months were all of the meetings simply were not recorded. So Zoom is giving us some hard times. So yeah, about
All right.
emails.
It happens sometimes.
About emails and how they're not dead, about outbound outreach, which is not dead, but bad emails are. Do you have some examples of good and bad emails that you recently received, maybe not so recently received? So some good and bad examples.
Oh yeah, I have a couple I actually got to show you. So hang on, I gotta pull this up. So I'll try to do this without dissing anybody because I never want to have anyone feel dumb because I don't want to call that out. But I want to talk about more of the concepts that I don't like, you know?
Yeah,
Um, and most of them thankfully go to spam. But let's see if I can find this. I have these things happen all the time.
no.
You have to give me a second because I have these pulled up and I gotta
Mhm.
find it.
Spam folder is my personal favorite channel of acquisition. That works the best for us as a company. So we do this kind of exercise every other week when where we open our spam folders, the whole team, and
Oh, let
that's
me tell you.
golden. Everybody's there is struggling with the problem that we're actually solving.
I don't have a well, I don't know. Okay, I'll tell you one right now. I have people. I don't know why, but for some reason, I'm on these lists where people are sending me this thing of saying, "Hey, you can be now this featured person on this whatever award thing. Like you can, you're now like I'll give you an example. There's this a name of a magazine that you could be added to the most iconic business leaders to watch in 2025.
Yeah.
All you have to do is pay 5 grand to get the sponsorship. Like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So that kind of stuff happens. And then what happens a lot, honestly, is that I have people who reach out to me via Momentum, but because on my LinkedIn, I have like three or four other advisor companies, they'll reach out to me on my Momentum email and say, "Hey, is this other company you advise for? When they're hiring, you should do blah, blah, blah." And they're talking to me like I'm full time with them, but I'm not. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's very obvious that they didn't do any research whatsoever, didn't take 2 seconds to look at my LinkedIn and say, "Oh, he's an advisor. He probably doesn't work there," you know? So it's that kind of stuff that is the obvious. I
Yeah.
have a lot of people who've sent me emails that are automated that like are to me and my point that I'll click on that I know are AI generated. I don't care because it's more about the topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Hmm. It's
I don't know
relevant.
if that helps at all, but yeah.
Yeah, it helps. My personal favorite again is when people reach out to me with some deliverability solutions. That number one, my favorite thing because literally it says that nobody did any prior research before sitting hand as a hidden send. And another thing that I yesterday received an email from a person, and I had this feeling that I've seen that before, like deja vu kind of feeling. And I opened our threads, and this person literally sent me five same emails. So every next follow up was the same email, same exact email that was sent previously, except for maybe one word or something
Mm,
to, but that's kind of ridiculous. Another thing that I think is a trend this year, at least I observed this kind of trend, is very short follow-up messages. The other day I received this follow-up message, "Hey Anna, any thoughts?" that was it.
Right, right, right. Yeah, you're like, thoughts on what? Yeah, I understand.
Yes.
Kind of annoying.
All right. Uh, okay. So about cold outreach overall, how many points, how many touch points you think it's important to have across all of the channels to create this surround sound kind of system and actually be seen by your prospects?
Are you asking for touch points in cold email specifically?
No, across all of the channels.
Oh, well, I have to find the research, but there's someone that said that it used to be 7 touches across all channels, and now it's up to like 14 or 15 now. It's like crazy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
doubled.
something like that.
Something insane. So, um, I would considerably say you probably need to plan on 20 hits of different places. And I think email is a great way to go because it is some place that can be that thing. So even if you do land in someone's spam, like I look at all my spam emails. I look at all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I go through them like that, junk, junk, junk. I just need 2 seconds. And there's sometimes where someone will be in spam. I'm like, oh, this. I want to talk to them.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't count on spam being the ultimate filter. Now, the thing that's interesting, I'd love to get your take on, is email specifically. You have AI now that's reading like AI reads emails for me. So like there's a lot
Yeah.
of emails that get filtered out because an AI is doing it for me because I get a ton of emails, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see like not necessarily gaming the system, but how does someone strategically be aware of that an AI is reading the email and making sure it gets through the gate of AI to the human?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have an answer for you. Like I'm still experimenting. I'm just curious. So
I think that's pretty much the same as it works with recruitment. When everybody
mm,
is applying, they're applying with their resumes. They have to
yep,
be adjusted to the specific job position. Otherwise, AI systems on the recruitment side simply will not let those resumes and those applicants through their gates. So I think it's going to work pretty much the same as it works with the recruitment process, but also it will. It, did you notice that LinkedIn also changed their algorithms recently?
they change all the time, but yes, I did
Yeah.
notice.
Yes, because everybody now is crying about LinkedIn, how it doesn't, how people doesn't re don't receive the same results they used to.
I don't
So
know.
it's also with email outreach, it's going to be also shifting towards kind of LinkedIn strategy, and LinkedIn now is detecting by context, by relevancy, by how consistent you are with your context, with your topics, with everything that you're basically posting, how deep those
Right.
conversations go. So maybe with AI reading through emails, it's going to be something like that. But then again, it depends
Could
on
be.
what sort of AI systems people are using on their end. Maybe it could be set up by some trigger words, or maybe some topics, or maybe, well, I'm looking for some venture capital right now. So I'm interested in all emails like that, and everything else should go to junk, whatever. So
Mm,
yeah,
hmm.
that's evolving for sure.
So
Uh,
I'm curious then, what do
mhm.
you um what are you seeing from like when you say bad emails, like what do you feel like is the email specifically? How many touch points do you think it is? You think the sequence of like having the old playbook of 14 days, day one you do this, day three you do this, day five, is that still play or is it different now, do you think?
Honestly, I believe in infinite loop across all of the
No.
channels. So until person says no, we keep trying to reach out to this person, because in some cases we try to reach out the same person 30 times or 35 times. And on the last touch, we receive email like, that exactly something that we need right now. It's just that previously the timing was bad. So it's not only about being noisy and about being over persistent. It's just about the right strategy. How we try to build it is kind of ABM approach, where we take a client journey map and different stages of awareness, and we try to communicate to our audience in every next wave differently. So let's say they're on the awareness stage, and we try to communicate with everybody who's on this stage as if they are well, they are aware of the problem, but they still are not aware of the solution. And then we move those people to the consideration stage, and so on and so forth. And this can take up to half a year or maybe even longer to go through all of
Wow.
the stages and catch person at the right time, in the right kind of mood, and that's there's a whole science behind that. But I honestly believe in kind of infinite loops.
Mm.
But yeah, maybe for some people, maybe it's way too much. It again, I think that depends on the company and the strategy. But I know for sure that two or three steps simply don't deliver.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's I'm curious to see like when do you think that loop begins? Because to me it kind of feels like a piece of a bigger holistic vision of marketing. So for example,
Hmm.
if I know that someone's on my email list and for whatever reason they're not opening it, or maybe they open it but not interacting, my question would be is like, is there another way through either like a webinar invite, or is there advertising, or is it through communities? Like what's another way to that person besides just email? But then
Hmm.
knowing that if they open an email from me like 12 times, and then what is the thing that they opened from? Was it a webinar? Was it me giving them something? Like what was it that pulled them out of that
Yeah.
not reading it? So it's just I'd want to know like how does that look in the entire journey of actually coming to us? That's what I would want to know.
Hmm.
So
Yes, signals and triggers are the biggest thing right now. We have a bunch of tools helping out with those triggers. Sometimes, again, people are in our outreach, but they don't convert through outreach, but we see them
mm,
as an inbound request. And that's,
mhm,
again, another exercise that I like doing with my team when once per quarter or once per half a year, we analyze everybody who came to us through inbound, whether
mhm,
they had any touch points prior to that. So, what was the awareness point? Was it something that they researched on their own? Was it something that we reached out to them with? So, how did they? What was the initial point where
right,
where they had this eureka moment?
right, yeah, I'm with you.
All right. So what's your take on the A/B tests or and on the tests overall? Some people have it, some people don't have it, some people
I I like tests personally. And tests are a great thing because you don't know unless you test it out. Like I do A/B tests all over the place. I think some of the best people that I know of, and I can't say that I'm the best person at pretty much anything, but the people I know of who are like the best at like converting emails or web pages, whatever, are like constantly testing all the time.
yeah.
And we're talking little things from the buttons, the button colors, the button fonts, the sizes to the copy. Like they're looking at everything. So I don't think that you have to necessarily be that crazy to get good results, but I do think it's important to know like how is the subject line converting versus how's the something else converting. It's like trying to figure out like what is that shift, and is there a change on the
Mm-hmm.
same group of people based on the message change or image or whatever the case might be. I think it's important to make sure you can do that. So
Sure, sure. And sometimes it's even timing. Most of the people
totally
try not to send emails on Friday, but for me, I don't know why. Maybe it's some kind of aura, maybe like, that's my karma. But whenever I send outreach at 4 p.m. on Friday, I hit the highest response rates. And it's been with
right.
me for over 10 years now. So
You said what time you guys said? You said Friday at 4? Is that what you said?
yes, for some reason, there was random timing and I started seeing this pattern and then I was like, all right, let's put it into a test. And that just kept
Ooh,
showing. So yeah,
I might have to test this to speak of my newsletter. I think I might because I purposely never post on Friday, so I might have to do it
right?
now just to see what happens. Yeah.
Most of the people they try to avoid Friday evening, and that's again that's something a nice thing to test. Sometimes we test
Okay. Now I'm
weekends.
gonna I'm gonna nerd out for a second. You say 4 p.m. Eastern? Like tell me exactly the
Eastern.
time.
Okay.
Eastern? Okay,
Yes,
I'm
it's
totally doing it
Eastern,
this
4
week.
p.m.
Okay, I'm totally doing it. I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna give you results next time. I'll tell you if it worked. So
All right, all right. What about customer acquisition costs? Because you have experience with pretty much every channel. How do you see this shift in customer acquisition costs across different channels? Is it changing? Is it the same?
yeah, it's another good question. The answer is theoretically yes, it should go down for multiple reasons. One, because you should be able to amplify or expand your own personal team. So obviously part of your cost is just your team itself. So
Yeah.
being able to amplify instead of having 10 people do one job each, you now have 5 people do the same amount of jobs. That's automatically reduction in cost, you know.
Hmm.
And even if, let's say, I'm not suggesting you lay anybody off. I'm just saying, like, as an example, let's just say your team right now has 10 people on your team. And the old world would say, I have to hire another 10 people to execute this much more stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, of hiring someone, you then use AI to amplify your current team to get more out of it. So when you do bring on more people, they have a 10x
Yes.
impact versus just the 1x they would have had before, you know?
Hmm.
Because, like, right now, I'll give you an example. Our team here at Momentum, I could theoretically use AI for all of our SDR cold email outreach, but I don't. We have this team in the team right now that we're hiring for. We keep moving because there's power inside of the human connection with cold outreach, because there's something they're doing. Like, a lot of the outreach they're doing is automated through AI, but there's this little nugget that's up to them to make this connection that, going into it, it's a human saying this. It's not an
Yeah.
AI. Like, 3/4 of the email is AI. The one sentence is all human, and that's literally what we pay them for, is to humanize that one sentence of connecting. Hey, I saw you had a post about your dog, about whatever the case is. Like, it's something that it wouldn't be written by an AI, because it's just human saying my dog was named Philo and I had this thing. Like, this is weird
Yeah.
random thing. You know what I mean? So you could theoretically, like, fake that, but I think people can. You can sense it. You can feel it.
Yeah.
It's just a vibe. So I think that's the key, is just understanding, like, how can you use AI to amplify specifically time savings, and then in that process you automatically have reduction in costs, and then you have the delta. So you have the reduction in costs going down, so you have costs going down, you have the delta of production, so you have this gap, which makes that
Yeah.
biggest difference between production and then the costs. So
Hmm. And how do you feel about this hypothesis? Well, I'm not sure if it's a hypothesis. Maybe some good portion of companies, I'm pretty sure they implement it already. But I saw it on LinkedIn. Somebody posted kind of infographics that now we have um, workflows where people manage a couple of bunch of tools, and in the
yeah.
future we're going to have manager or maybe a couple of managers who are going to manage a bunch of AI agents. So basically the number of people will be much lower, but their seniority and their skill set is going to be much broader to be able to manage those AI agents. Do you see something like that happening this year and next year? How do you feel about that?
Next year for sure. I think that people are always trying to do that, but, like, this idea, I'll give you an example. M- you, me, all of us have our own unique brains, experience, IP.
Yeah.
In the future, we'll have a world where, and because of, like, things like API connections or MCP, there's a world that can exist that I could run marketing theoretically for 4 or 5 different companies, not just one, because I would have an AI agent team with me that could plug into a different team and can
Hmm.
amplify my brain into their platform using AI as my extension. That's
Yeah.
theoretically going to what will happen. Um, Now, the other side of this is the part that we don't know, is that we don't know yet as humans where we actually like AI and where we don't. So an example would be, Klarna released and got rid of a bunch of customer success people and replaced them all with AI. That was like 7 months ago. 3 months ago, they started hiring back the same people or same positions because the customers didn't like the experience with AI. So it's like, and this will always change because AI continually gets better and better, and we're experiencing more. But, like, we don't know where we're going to like it and where we won't. Because if we have AI for everything, that means that the human experience will be at a premium, and people will be willing to pay for the premium just so they don't have to
Yeah.
work with the freaking AI. So it's this balance of, like, what experience do you want your brand to have? Do you want it to be AI, which is great? Then run with that. Do you want to do, like, pick your own journey? We have, here's an AI journey, here's a human journey. You pick which one you want to do.
Yeah.
But I think it would be naive to say that it's all going to be bubbles and awesome and people are just going to love working with my AI. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think people are going to have opinions, obviously,
Yeah.
and some people will love it and other people will hate it. And it's up to businesses to understand, like, what's the experience we want to create for people, whether it's email, LinkedIn, calling, doesn't matter. Like, what is the experience we want to have them go through? So,
I like this. First of all, I like this vision, and also it reminds me of this meme where people is screaming their cell phone representative. because they
Hmm.
were
Hmm.
talking to some Amazon AI assistant and they needed some help. It's literally still me every time. Whenever I have a problem, I would prefer talking to an actual person instead of AI because it simply works better.
Right. Well, even sometimes it's just that like an AI could pretend to have empathy for you, but it's ultimately not going to do it. It's just going to pretend to have it. It's not doesn't actually have it versus a human where there's a lot of studies that show how recently in ChatGPT specifically the use case is therapy. Because a lot of times people like just talk and it's a way to process different emotions, you know? So AI is
Hmm.
becoming like a therapist, but it's more of like just having someone to talk to that can give you a response like back of what's going on. So it'll be interesting to see like where things shift as you go, you know? So
Exactly. And we were talking with you the last time we had a chat about those M dashes and how everybody now, whenever it's a grammarly proper, grammarly correct thing to
I know.
put, but every time you see the M dash, you like instantly trigger it. That's AI.
Yeah, well, it's sad because M dash is I actually used before AI on purpose for what M dash was made for, but
Yeah.
now you can't do it because if you use M dash, everyone's like, "Oh, it's AI." I'm like, "No, I meant that to be there. Like that's supposed to be there," you know.
I just
So
know the grammar.
yeah, kind of funny.
All right. So let's move on to
Uh,
the, I-
Anastasia, David had a question with do you use LinkedIn or AI agent phone
yeah.
calls along email outreach? Do you do that at all, you personally?
We do. Well, we didn't use AI agents for phone calls, but we used AI automation for parallel dialing. So AI
Mm,
agent dialed, let's say, 10 numbers in parallel, and whoever picked up first was transferred to an actual person. So again, in my opinion, it's important to keep the thinking process to human, so that humans can uh, ideate, they can create hypotheses, they can create like business decisions and stuff like that. So they can actually drive that. But then AI is used just for the execution. Because right now, what I see a lot, and that's something that I think it's a huge work in process thing, is hallucinations with AI. So that's something that you have
yep,
to keep in mind that it's not 100% correct, and it's not even 80, 100, 80% correct. Uh, in most cases, you need to double check things. And when I see I see this that way when I expect another person to invest their time into something from my brand, from our brand.
totally.
I have to, that's my obligation to invest my time or time of my team to kind of have this touch with those people because otherwise it's just not a fair
Hmm.
game. So yeah, we do use AI agents for some routine task, for some amplification of the process. But then, whenever it comes to actual connection, that's where our team kicks in. They pick up the phone and talk to people. Same with
Totally.
email outreach.
Yeah, totally.
What about you?
We don't use we use AI for a lot of obviously automated the communication, but there is always a human involved with pretty much every single message out there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We personally with Momentum we don't use AI for voice. I actually use AI for the academy for AI voice, so people can like call into one of my AI voices, or there's a follow up. So if someone submits a particular type of lead magnet, I have an AI that will automatically call them or text them and saying, "Hey, what's going on?" Like it'll do that kind of stuff, which is fascinating. And again, it's one of those things where I'm just testing it, seeing do people like this, or is it annoying? You know, I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to, but I don't know unless I try. So I just test it out and see what I think. I do know of a lot of friends of mine who are like, who sell to like dentists and chiropractors. They're all they do is sell AI voice agents to that place, and they're killing it.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing an amazing job. You know, so I think it definitely depends on the use case of how you can leverage it, depending on what business you're in or what industry.
For sure, for sure. I
Yeah.
tried. Did you try HeyGen tool?
Oh yeah.
How did it work for you?
I keep trying it 'cause they keep updating their model. In fact, I gotta go try the last one because I haven't been in it for like a month. Um, this is just my opinion. I I like the concept of avatars, but when you watch movies like Marvel, he doesn't
Yeah.
talk to an avatar, he talks to a voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't see a world where we're talking to avatars. I see a world where we can talk to robots. But I don't think avatar is the way to go. I think it's more voice. I could be probably more than likely I'll be totally wrong, but my impression is it's going to be more of a voice experience driven versus like an avatar. Because like
Yeah.
when you think about Tony Stark, and again using him as an example, he could look anywhere or he wanted to go and just talk, whereas an avatar requires you to look at something, and it's just
Yeah.
it's not always the best or most efficient version, I think.
Yeah.
So this is my opinion.
Yeah. I totally share, totally agree with your opinion. I created a couple of avatars and then I tried to record some onboarding video for my team, and it just looked creepy.
Right.
So
Just creepy.
or I received a couple of avatar generated, avatar based videos in LinkedIn as a follow-up message. And so the main part was pre-recorded, but the intro message, like "Hey Anastasia," was made through avatar. It was so creepy. "Hey Anastasia," and then it's a smooth part of the script where actual person does the rest. And so yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of work to be done there. Was still
There is,
not there
but
yet.
at the same time, though, I wouldn't write it off because there's some companies, like for example, my friends over at OneMind, they have what they call superhumans, which is basically an avatar that they're doing have major success with. So it's like it's just again, it's all like what do we like as humans? I don't know. It's like maybe some people like avatars and I don't. It's just more of an opinion.
Sure.
So yeah,
All right. So, what's your intake on the best practices and the worst practices with email? We touched this water a little bit before, but maybe
yeah.
you have some secret sauces or secret tips for writing actually a high
Oh man.
performing email or revenue killing email.
Well, pretty much the ones you have out there, like generic templates and um I was just gonna, okay, so I'm gonna back up. It depends on what you're trying to communicate and who you're communicating to.
Yeah.
If you're in any type of strategic lens, you're trying to go after someone who's like a VP level and up, like it has to be exceptionally personalized. And that doesn't mean you have to spend hours and hours on it, but like literally, I'm amazed of how many people don't take 2 seconds to look at my LinkedIn profile and look at saying, oh, he doesn't work for this company. He's an advisor of this company. Cool. I'm not going to reference them. Good idea. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, because sometimes people will use AI to personalize something, and they'll bring up some post I had or some podcast. And I know automatically, I'm like, you didn't listen to this. What are you talking about? Like, I don't care if they didn't, I just want to have
Yeah.
something where it shows they put some effort into it and it's valuable. It's like, there again, using the book as a reference, Jordan Kvarfordt talks about how this concept of people don't have time for AI or human based crap. It doesn't matter if it's AI or human. If it's crap, they're not going to spend any time on it. So the question is, how it's not if you use AI or not in the communication, is it crap or not? Is
Yeah.
it viable? Is it viable or not? You know what I mean? Because there's sometimes where I've gotten an email that they haven't personalized it at all to me, but they're talking about a problem that I do care about. Like for example, I had someone reach out to me who said, "Hey, we have this new concept we're testing out where we can figure out your competitors, who's using your competitors' platform for sure based on this new flow." And they could say
Hmm.
that to anybody. And for me, like, ooh, I'm interested. So like, it depends on what I'm going through as a marketing leader, and do you have enough of a uniqueness to have them go, talk to me, give me an option. You have one response. That's
Yeah.
all I need. Like, all I want my team to have is one chance. It's just getting to the point where you can give your team an email so you can get that chance. Most people don't write a good enough email to get the first chance to actually talk to someone. Does that make sense? So
Yeah. Makes a lot of
yeah,
sense.
for
I
me,
think.
you have it listed out here. Focus on recipient's needs, the value prop in first two sentences. Like I for us, just the first two sentences we focus on is a personal. It's the first sentence is always something personal. Always, it's like the human
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, I just saw your post about your dad. So glad he had a surgery, like whatever the case is." It's like making it
Hmm.
so it's exceptionally personal. And because our team personally will add in some sort of thing like, my dad went through something similar of this, like it'd be something that it would be really hard for an AI to make up and make it make any sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
very, very
Yeah.
human. So
Makes
that's
a lot
for us. Um, but then all the rest of the email, 90% of it is automated. It's personalized to the title.
of.
Um, but based on our, again, our value prop, what I was telling you about before of like,
Yeah.
what do we think is important to that person based on what we talk about? But the whole first line is all human based, you know? So
Yes. Makes
yeah.
sense. I would say that the some people misinterpret the part where customization or making it sound relevant. Sometimes they misuse that. And I received a couple of emails saying, "Oh, you studied there. I also had that kind of a degree or something like that. I also studied at Harvard Business School or something."
Right, right.
And it's irrelevant because the rest of the email will be not connected to this kind of intro part. But sometimes the first line goes like, you probably are struggling with XYZ, and that's actually something that is relevant to me. Like deliverability problem is not relevant to me because we are providing those solutions, obviously.
Right.
Maybe optimizing something in my team is relevant to me. So just with the first line, I will be able to tell whether it's something that I will open or I will not open this email. So I think that relevancy is always more
Yes.
important than random customizations.
Totally.
And also, a couple of months ago, we came up with this idea. We created this bot internally, an AI agent that scraps. It basically it goes through every LinkedIn page that is in our database that we are planning to do outreach to. And this bot it reads through the profile and try to detect the tone of voice, so it doesn't change the context of the message, but it changes a little bit tone of voice. So it's easier for the person to read through this message because it's his tone of voice or her tone of voice. So if
Mhm.
person tends to write shorter messages, shorter lines, and just to be very specific and very direct, we'll write an email following this tone of voice. But if person prefers to write long reads, then we'll try to
Right, right.
make a little bit longer email, something like that.
Yeah, totally agree. Do you see that in the data? Like, I'm curious, like, how would you know if someone likes longer versus shorter? Is that can just maybe test you do?
Yeah, so if we see, and that works mostly for people who have their profile filled and people who have at least a couple of posts. So for empty pages, it doesn't work. So for empty pages, AI agent simply responds with a generic template, well, not generic template, but the basic template that we put into the strategy, into the sequence. It doesn't change anything in the message. But if there is something that agent can relate to, as I said, maybe a description, profile description, or maybe a couple of posts, or maybe a newsletter, just
Hmm.
something. Then it reads through all of the materials on the page and it tries to detect that tone of voice.
Awesome. Love it.
All right. So, key takeaways. What would you think will be the major, what do you think is the major shift that we're going to experience in Q4 or maybe early next year in terms of GTM, maybe in terms of paid search, maybe in terms of cold outreach, maybe in terms of SEO, maybe overall with the GTM motion.
Um, what I find is a couple of things. I feel like the AI, because I teach prompting to individuals and I talk to companies about strategy. I feel like AI is this, how to explain it? It's in it unveils and magnifies weaknesses and strengths, both
Mm-hmm.
sides. Like with prompting, you figure out your strengths and weaknesses really quickly with communication when you prompt, because like you can see it in the results. Same thing with AI strategy. Most companies who try to accomplish something with AI strategy can't because of the weakness in not defining their process or not having the data communicate to each other or not having the ICP figured out. Like all this stuff, AI is like forcing people to look at the fundamentals at the first
Yeah.
principle stuff, you know? So I think this next year is a lot of the, again, not back to the basics, but back to the core first principle fundamental concepts of what really drives business. And I think
Mm-hmm.
we'll find more and more, we'll have two different sides happen. There'll start to be this path that'll be very clear that people will on purpose decide on having a path that someone can have a human experience only and charge a premium for it. Because
Yeah.
again, If I can use AI, you can use AI. If everyone has all the access to tools, the only thing unique in that aspect is the human, how the human
Yep.
amplifies the AI, which means that for a company, that means that your talent is more important now more than ever. It's like people saying like replace humans with AI. I'm like, sure, but the humans are the ones who create an IP and like all this experience. Like they're so more important now more than ever, you know?
Yes,
So I think
true.
that world is going to be very, very clear in the next 12 months of figuring out what skills or tasks do we actually need a human for, and those are the things we should like amplify more, and what are the tasks that we need to that humans probably should never have done in the first place. Like again, for us momentum, we do CRM automation so people don't have to enter notes in. Why? We didn't have anyone do that because we didn't have the tech before, but now we have it. Why would you ever ask a human to do that again? It doesn't make any
Yes.
sense. And I'm not taking away anyone's job. I'm giving them back their life of like CRM data entry hell, you know. So it's it's things like that we're really going to figure out where can you be amplified, and the people who are willing to do the hard work now will like accelerate so much faster in a year than those who like put it off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be this chasm that'll start to create from teams who are willing to do the hard work now.
That's interesting. That's interesting take. I
Yeah.
think also people have to scale their skill set. It's basically it's just like with any tech revolution. It's just new skills are emerging, old skills are becoming irrelevant, and people will not necessarily have to change everything that they're doing, but definitely obtain new skills to be able to do more complicated, more strategy thinking, requiring tasks more comprehensive, creating more comprehensive solutions, while the rest, the routine part, will be taken care of by AI.
Mm. Yeah, I totally agree with that. It'll be interesting to see where things go. Like I don't know the answer, you know,
Yeah,
but
nobody knows. I think that even people who are creating LLMs, and I've been listening to a couple of podcasts,
totally.
they don't understand exactly where we're heading into, and that's something that we'll have to discover. But we can adjust.
Right. Exactly. I'm super fascinated to see like where things will go because like it could go so many different ways. And I'm an optimist, so I do believe that it will go in a good direction. I genuinely believe in
Yeah,
that. I also believe in people's greed, and people's greed usually keeps things in line because otherwise,
yeah,
if the world gets destroyed, then it doesn't serve anybody, you know. So I'm choosing to believe that there's positive things happening for us because of those two things, you know. And I genuinely think that as a general whole, people do want to do the best thing they can. They're trying to do the best with what they have. And I've talked to many people inside of LLM companies, and I think that they're doing their best to do that, you know.
that's
So
true.
yeah.
All right, let me share the screen with the QR code so that you guys can connect with Jonathan, those who
Love
are
it.
here with us today, and those who are going to um, listen to our podcast okay, in the recording. So
Mhm.
you can see the slide, right, with the
Yes.
information.
Yep.
Okay.
QR codes. Yep.
All right. So yeah, guys, connect with Jonathan, connect with me. We'll be happy to hear back from you. Any kind of feedback, questions, Jonathan can help you with accelerating your DM strategies. And he's just brilliant, as you can see and as you can hear. He's a
Oh, you're
brilliant
kind.
mind. So yeah, maybe you guys have some sort of questions. We'll be more than happy to answer here, or if not, then that's it.
I love it. Thank you. This has been a pleasure. Nothing but awesome and honored to talk. Like I love your thoughts. I'm totally gonna test the 4 p.m. thing on Friday thing. It's gonna be
Thank you,
fun.
Jonathan. Thank you so much for your time and those amazing answers and your thoughts. Again, it's so cool to talk to somebody who has such a broad vision on many things. So yeah, it was a pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you, and thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you. Bye. See you.
Bye.